Oh, hello everyone. Welcome into Comic Book Women. Feels a little weird coming off this show, or coming onto this show without coming off of Lords of the Long Box, but I'm sure we'll be getting some of you from that show in here soon. So welcome in. Yeah, tonight we are going to be covering an interesting topic. Hold on, my kid's screaming in the background.
How are you doing?
Doing good. Adam walks in the house. He's like, I'm home. Anyways, we're going to be covering negative space variants tonight. We have a lot of really cool, obscure books. Because when you think negative space, I think most of us automatically go to like 2 or 3 covers that just stand out in our mind. But Jen and Britt, our behind the scenes goddess, did some deep diving into this topic. And I think that if any of you out there are collectors, whether it be for PC or spec, there's going to be some good stuff tonight. Hi, Jen. How's it going?
Lots of stuff.
Was it more challenging researching into negative space than you thought?
Yeah.
It was going to be?
Yeah, it definitely was. I'm so happy to have access to those 2 Golden Age reference books finally.
Mm-hmm.
I was like so excited to finally like have access. Then I was like, oh, I have to flick through every page just to learn what I'm looking for. And then
blood, sweat, and tears, man.
And then I was like, this one, Laura? And you're like, no. And I'm like, this one?
Well, I'll explain why. I felt bad. I'm like, nope. But we'll get into that. We'll get into what qualifies as a negative space and what kind of teeters on it. Sarah, what about you? Was it a little bit hard looking into this one?
Well, I've been kind of taking a little bit of a dive, just a little toe tip already. Starting to collect some of the negative space. But what I love is now I'm seeing more stuff, and now I'm scared for my collection because there's a lot, and there's a lot of unique stuff out there.
All right, so before we get started, shout out to our sponsors over at Cover Price. If you see any of the data on the screen, the majority of it came directly from their site. So if you're not already use code 14 for 1 month of unlimited access for 99 cents.
Your microphone was a little like, woo.
It went in that a little bit. It's good now.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you're good.
I was just saying Cover Price is awesome. And shout out to Bird City Comics. If you haven't already followed them, please do. They're our sponsored retailers. And tonight we showed the second cover that we are doing for Battle Chasers by Ariel Diaz. It's a Red Monica homage. And I have to give credit to Gabe over at Lord of the Long Box. He messaged me a while back with that idea. So that was all him. All right, so let's get going. So let's kick it off with a little bit of history of where this stuff came from, because it's not like negative space just suddenly appeared in comic books. It's been around for a long time. Jen?
Yeah, and then real quick, James, part 2.
Always a part 2. Actually, is that the Catwoman one? I just got a Catwoman one.
There's over 50 for sure. There's like over 50 plus negative space comic covers that range you'll see from like time. Oh, sorry, cat distracting. Part 2, maybe part 3. Couldn't cover them all. I think we're covering 20-something books.
James is quite the collector if you follow him. So maybe, James, we're going to surprise you with some that you don't even know about. Maybe.
Yeah.
All right. So Rubens Vase, why'd you include this?
So it's one of the earliest examples, but then they cite that this kind of was influenced by the Greek. Go ahead, Sarah.
So you know what? I will explain what negative space is, so then you can kind of visualize these images that we have on display. So negative space is used as a neutral or contrasting background to draw attention to the main subject. So as you can see in this, the vase, as Karen pointed out, we see the 2 faces. But yeah, it's basically kind of focal on just this main image, main point, main base.
I
Makes
definitely see
sense?
the two faces. That's the first thing I see. I don't really see the vase until I think about the vase. I see the two vases initially. But yeah, that made perfect sense. So you're using empty space to create an image you're creating an image out of space. It's negative space. The one on the upper right, again, another really cool example. I didn't quite understand the hands at Cuevas de las Manos, but can you elaborate on that, Jen?
Yeah, so a couple of different art schools cite these ancient, because I forgot what year, ancient,
Seems old. We'll go old.
It's very old.
and saying that they kind of credit them with the negative space of you put your hand down and then you do this stuff and you take it away. And it's like, well, that's the negative space. Like that they didn't paint that in. It was like an object placed. Yeah, she really wants the pets. So yes.
Yeah, this is really cool. I think again, it's important to remember that comic books were not the first time that we see this. Shout out to Namesh for the $50 super chat. Sorry for being tardy, just getting home from work. That is okay. You are always excused. Thank you, Namesh. We appreciate it. Solo Wookie just tuned in for a positive topic. First thing I hear about is negative space. Yeah, near Nirvana is always a positive space, so this is a little bit different for us. And Lucy couldn't make it tonight, but shout out to her. So some historical examples just to get us started. Next up, so this is really neat, and this is all Sarah. Take it away.
Yeah, so I was trying to find, who is the first person that did negative space comics. But what I did find is he's kind of the creator of negative space. This is, I would say, in print media. So this is C. Coles Phillips. He's known for stylish images of women, and he uses negative space in his paintings for magazines like we see right here is Life magazine. I love that image. And then also in Good Housekeeping. And he also did ads for Oneida Silverware. What's really interesting too is somebody who we'll be talking about further on, John Tyler Christopher. He actually quoted as saying that John or C. Cole Phillips was kind of the creator of negative space concept.
That's saying something because everybody thinks negative space JTC. So if he's like, it wasn't me, it was this dude.
Yeah, and so this came around the 1900s as well. So he was a very prevalent illustrator back then. So I just thought this would be a great example to show how far back this concept goes.
Do we have pricing information on any of this?
Yeah, so on the left-hand side, that's from 1911. It's a book, and that sold for around $95. And then the Life magazine is from 1921. It's called In a Position to Know, and that ranges between like 60 and 100. It's just really tough to get in a really high grade, but you can get a lot of Coles Phillips prints or old ads for $30 if you hunt.
Really?
I almost bought a couple. I was like, oh, that's so cool, or oh, that'd be a good present for you, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yes. I saw all these images. What I shared with the girls in the chat, some of these images that I found, and I just started falling in love. And like I said, I was like, oh no, my bank account.
Negative space is cool. It's something about it that like kind of forces the eye to see things differently. It's not obvious art. And there's going to be a lot of examples of that throughout the night. Guys, if you are just tuning in, we're going to be covering negative space, but not just John Tyler Christopher. We dug deep. And by we, I mean Jen and Sarah, actually. They both went to town on finding some really cool examples that you don't see all the time. So stay tuned. This is going to be a good one. All right, Jen. You had to dig through a lot. Well, you had to kiss a lot of frogs to find your prints, right?
Well, I just like how I kept finding stuff. And I'm like, Laura, does this count? And you're like, no. I'm like, okay, does this count? And so I finally have access to these 2 Golden Age reference books. And I just flicking through each page trying to find it. This is Forbidden Love number 2 from 1950. I think, I'm not saying this is the first in comics. I'm saying it might be early. I might be wrong. It's not for sure.
Well, let's challenge the chat if they can find one before this. And by negative space, you can't see the outline of their clothing. It can't just be them standing against a likeness of the or like colored background. It has to literally be no lines like this one is. So let's see if maybe they could find one.
Yeah,
Maybe.
And this is Lorraine Crawford. That's the actress from the 50s. And then there was a sale of a 9.4 back in 2006 for $2,629. But 9.4 from 1950. And it had off-white to white pages.
Wait, a 9.6 or 9.4?
A 9.4.
And it went for almost $1,000 more?
Mm-hmm.
Damn. That's
So happy hunting.
I love this. This is one of my favorite periods, 40s, 50s. And I love like the little premise below where it says, I had beauty, wealth, social position, yet with the most eligible bachelors in town at my feet. And I loved a gigolo. Like, come on. I love this. You know, it's amazing. Gotta love those.
Sarah's sold.
I am. I'm gonna. I guess I'm gonna have to save up a couple of grand to buy one of these.
I mean,
dude, this would be so tough to find in high grade. Look at this. I mean, not only the age, but that all black cover. I mean, this thing must just get beat to shit over the years.
Yes.
But I think you might have an advantage if you go, because remember it's golden age, so it's a little bit bigger. I think people tend to skip over Forbidden Love, right? They tend to go for the superheroes. So you never know, might get lucky.
You never know. I actually agree with you. I think this one you would be more likely to find. God, she's beautiful too.
Right?
This girl, side-eye? Yep, side-eye, a little bit. The original side-eye.
Those eyebrows, come on. Ugh.
Don't you wish that we could dress like this again and go back to like this look? I love it. I think it's so beautiful. I guess I could, but it's too much work.
Right.
It's a lot of work.
Not comfortable either.
You need like a lady's maid. And this is a comic. Yeah, this is a comic. It's not an old school poster. This is a comic, a 10-cent poster from May of 1941, you said?
1950 Forbidden Love number 2.
Got you. Okay. Very cool. So guys, keep an eye out if you're out and about. This would be a cool one to find. All right, next up, Jen, go ahead.
So this is Amazing Spider-Man number 28. On the left, Steve Ditko is the artist. It's from 1965. This is also the first appearance of Mountain Man, so that's usually why but I think for Marvel, it's one of the early negative space variants. And then on the right-hand side, it's ASM 188 from 1979. And that has a dual artist. It's Dave Cockrum and Terry Austin.
I might have that one.
Really?
No.
I think I actually do, because I have almost that entire. I think I might have that run. Yeah.
Okay, now you have to take a picture and post it, and you have to prove it.
Yeah, I think I do. Sarah.
Yeah, it's amazing that, again, JTC is not the only one who did this kind of concept. We've seen Ditko and Byrne and others kind of taking this on in the beginning. So I think it's cool just to kind of see the beginnings of some of these people taking on this negative art concept.
I like the red that's used here. It's like he's glowing. It's the perfect shade to kind of give it like a luminance to it. Luminance.
And I also want to know why. Why did they choose the negative space, for Spider-Man? That'd be interesting to find out.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a good question. I mean, it looks badass. It has the perfect design for it. So it kind of makes sense. A negative space art may be satisfying because it's an interaction between the artist and the viewer. Yeah, it makes you kind of think about what they were going for. Your brain it put some work into it, exactly. And shout out to Lords of the Long Box. They just joined us. Welcome on in. We are talking all about negative space today, and we are not just giving you the stuff that you probably already know about. We're going a little bit deeper. So on the left, if you want the ASM, what number is that, Jen? 28?
Oh, yeah. Wait, the left is
The left.
28, right is 188.
So 198 for very good on the left and $10 for a fine on the right. And I'm pretty damn sure I have that. And if you guys ever have any of these books, for the love of God, tag us. I want to see. Astro Wizard, I completely agree. These early covers are very neat. This negative has a Neo effect to it being this old. It's very cool.
Absolutely.
Let's keep going. All right. So Sarah, these were your picks, right?
The Spider-Woman was. Jen picked the She-Hulk because she knows I like She-Hulk. So craziness. So I found out about this Spider-Woman number 39. This cover is done by Steve Lee. I can't say Leo.
Yes, it's a hard thing to pronounce.
Yeah, it's like Lee. It's like Leah Aloha. That sounds right. Okay, thank you.
Sounds friendly. I like it.
Yeah, right? I like it. So this came out in August of 1981. So last year, I ran into somebody who was telling me about this this cover and was telling me that this was the only, or this is the first negative space cover. I'm not saying it is. They were just saying it, and they're like, you should get it. And I thought it was a really cool cover. I'm kind of into Spider-Woman. And I've been searching for it. And Jen knows how hard I've been trying to find this. And I wished it into the universe, and I got my copy.
Oh, hell yeah. Nice.
Yeah. So I got my copy at C2E2 this year. So, yeah. So it all worked out. So, yeah, again, this is, a great one to pick up, and it's Spider-Woman, and I just love the orange. And I think there's another Spider-Woman cover that's kind of like this too. It's a greenish cover. I couldn't remember it, but yeah, I love it. I'm starting to pick up some more Spider-Woman negative space. Scotty Young did one. I couldn't find it, but Scotty Young did one, and I love it. And of course, Jen got this. She found this She-Hulk for me, so I'll let her explain that.
Actually, Laura was able to find out who the artist was.
Well, I'm not positive, so I'm going to put a little caveat before I speak on this. But you see on the text there, it says by John Byrne with Kim DeMulder and Petra Scorzi. Anyway, long story short, I looked those two creators up, and it looks like Kim DeMulder was known for his cover art, and he kind of has like that 80s vibe. And I was able to kind of stalk his Facebook and found a couple images that are very, very similar to this. So I'm like 95% sure that's the artist. Feel free to correct me if you find anything to the contrary. But yeah, it's a badass cover too. It's a graphic novel. You got the black, which makes it really tough to try to find a nice condition, but $55 raw.
Yeah. I mean, 81 to 1985. These also went really well together, being 80s negative space variants.
Oh, that's true. I didn't even thought about it that way.
There's another. I was gonna say there's another She-Hulk one that when I was rooting around to try to find negative space comics, and it's one that I've seen many, many times, and I can't remember the number of it, but it's a foil one where it's just kind of like her silhouette with the dress, the black. I've seen it so many times, and I've always wanted to pick it up, but the foil is always scratched. So that's the only thing that I would cover. Yeah.
Well, okay. I believe him. Paul's good with this stuff. All right, let's keep cruising. We have a lot to get through, guys. Tivo, you were just talking about this one, so here you go. We delivered. Right.
So on the left, this is actually one that I really like, and I've been trying to hunt down for cheap, which I don't want to pay shipping, so I'm gonna keep looking. But this is Legacy Spider-Man number from 1998. and it came with a wizard. So it's thin. It's not like your normal comic thick comic.
Thickness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then on the right, it's Witchblade from 2012, 161. It's funny. Poor Man Comics on Instagram was hunting for this for a while, but he finally tracked one down. But you're saying TiVo was talking about it?
Well, TiVo was saying in the chat that we better have this on here, but I also know that Brian McClay was like a huge fan of this book. I remember him bringing this up multiple times on his show. So, yeah, the Witchblade's a popular one I keep seeing circulating out and about. The Legacy of Spider-Man I wasn't familiar with. He kind of looks like he's wearing like a little thong spider bikini. Doesn't it?
Well, it's his feet are together.
Oh.
Like he's doing his Spider-Man pose upside down, the like his feet and the web.
He's got a big old butt, if that's what it is.
Wait, I don't see it that way, Jen. No, I thought that was like his ass that we're seeing. Like he's hanging upside down and that's his ass.
Yeah, then the feet are together.
See, there's like a little rump kind of like in the feet.
Oh, okay. I see it now. Now I see it. Okay. That's not how I see it. Somebody in the chat said it. Like I have to really make my brain see that. Now, okay. So his knees are pointing out sideways.
Yeah.
Got you. Yeah. Guess I'm a pervert. I saw him in like a little Spider-Man thong.
You have a big old booty.
Right. Interesting cover. Okay.
It's almost to, I mean, it's almost to the S and it's almost to the N. So dang, Spider-Man. He's got some cakes.
$3 for that though. That's not too bad. I know everybody in the chat's talking. I know I do have a dirty mind. I automatically went there. There's the Positive Space web store exclusive variant for the Witchblade. Really? Did not know that.
Yeah, it has a white.
It's horrible looking.
Yeah, this is better. I mean, in our opinion, right?
Yeah. Sorry,
like
JTC. I like your negative space one better than the white one.
Yeah, a lot of people slept on the Witchblade, but I remember McClay talking about this like right when it came out. And yeah, post on your IG and tag us if you have anything cool we want to see. So now you're looking at about $41 if you want to find it in near mint. A 9.6 went for $125, but the little asterisk means that's more than 6 months old. There are about 50 of you hanging out with us tonight. Make sure you are subbed to the channel if you haven't already, and do us a favor, give it a thumbs up and share us out. We are here every Tuesday covering something. All right, moving on.
So I know people are going to be like, why didn't you show the C2E2 Wolverine? I'm like, okay, well, part two. This is all new Wolverine, 1 for 25. It's number 4. It's from 2016. And if you look very carefully by the tush and the thighs and the stomach, it is a negative space. Because how much negative space do you need to be considered a negative space?
That's a good question. I don't know. I mean, I think as long as anywhere on the piece you have the colors combined, it qualifies. I don't think there has to be a minimum. When you first showed me this, though, I didn't catch that her ass is part negative space. I thought she had like a weird shaped ass. I was like, okay, her butt's kind of like this. But now that I see where the yellow's supposed to be, it definitely makes sense. Same with the stomach. I didn't see it at first.
Yes,
so I like that you chose this. It's cool.
And then, I've never seen this one. This is really cool.
Yeah, I've never seen it in the wild. But now I feel like, oof, that price. But and then Vision number 4 from 2016. It's the 1 for 20 by Michael Cho. Cho.
Michael Cho.
So out of these two,
Sarah, oh, what?
Which one do you guys like better? Just curiosity.
Left.
Okay. Sarah?
I go with the Wolverine. I like the Wolverine. Now that you pointed out like what Laura said with the butt, now I could see from like her tummy, her little pooch, all the way down to her legs. It's really cool. It's a lot different than the other covers that we've seen so far. So nice pick.
Who was the artist here again?
So on the left, it is Ryan Sook, Sook, right? Sook.
Yeah.
And then, but Michael Cho has a bunch of negative space ones we weren't able to show them all, but he's a bunch.
I like the Vision. I think it's just the yellow pops, the black pops. It's sexy. I mean, there's just seems, and it's a full body image. There's just a lot more happening on that piece that I find visually better. Solo Wookiee disagrees and is going to go with the Vision.
Okay.
Hey, that works too. You're looking at $70 for a near mint for the all new Wolverine. If you guys can track that down, and if you want the Vision, $130 for a near mint. So and that one's on a little bit of an upward trend too. All right, what do we have here?
So this is Transformers Lost to Light, issue 12, cover B by Nick Roche. It's from 2017. And then on the right-hand side, it's Marvel Knights, that 20th Marvel Knights thing, issue number 3 from 2018 with the Punisher, and it's Jolly.
Dude, I have never seen the one on the right or the left. I mean, I'm sorry, the Lost Lights. That's not one I'm familiar with.
This got me thinking there has to be, and I think there is a Predator one where the Predator is in that like camo see-through invisible mode and he has like blood.
Sean did ours and half of his body's in the invisible mode, but not the full body. Like you can still see some of them, but it's kind of. Is that his head in the center or am I imagining a pair of eyes there?
No, that's the white
That's
eyes.
his head. Yeah.
Okay. So he's kind of like that, right?
Yeah.
Dude, that's cool for $3. Yeah. Sarah, what do you think?
Yeah, I think between the two, I definitely like the Transformers one. I love those moments in movies where somebody is hidden or cloaked and then they're revealed, and this cover does it. So yeah, and $3 too. Come on now. Big
neck Punisher. Yeah. He does have a nice thick neck going there, and he's wearing one of those tight shirts. Yeah. I like that one. You would think it'd be going for more than $4. Vision is visually solid if you can tell it from a distance. Wait, hold on. Oh, that's for the last one. That's for this. Yeah, it does look like an advertisement. All right, so these are both affordable, $3 and $4. If you haven't found these, now you can kind of keep an eye out for both of them. And IDW, didn't they lose the rights to Transformers recently?
IDW is in transition.
So that's interesting too. If you can get a hold of any of the Transformer covers, you might want to grab them while you still can. I haven't heard anything about it. We were supposed to be doing a book with them, and like we just haven't heard back. It's like they just don't exist anymore.
They do have Star Trek, and I'm excited for that summertime event. But
we'll see. Time will tell. All right. Next up, Power Ranger fans. These are neat too, Jen. So I love that you went off the beaten track.
I mean, again, there's so many, right? So Power Rangers universe, there's 1 through 6. They all have all the Rangers are negative space. Goni Montez. It just happens to be that issue 3 and 5. So Yellow Ranger is issue 3. Issue 5 is the Black Ranger. Tend to be the little more pricier ones. I think as their ratios, and since they're later in the series, maybe not as much ordered.
Yeah. So there's a green version of this. There's a pink. All of them.
Yeah, they all got one.
I'm curious what those two go for. It seems like the green and the pink always sell better, and the red.
Well, is that because it's everyone's favorites?
Yeah, they're everybody's favorites. What was the pink's name? Kimberly Hart, right? The actress.
Pink.
Yeah. She's going to one of the cons, I think, coming up here soon. Maybe New York. So if anybody out there is going to New York Comic Con, you can meet the Pink Ranger. These are perfect for remarks. They're perfect for signatures. Yeah, Sarah.
Yeah, if you're a Power Ranger fan, that's really cool that they've kind of covered the whole barrage of different characters for Power Rangers. But yeah, I mean they're cool. I mean I'm not a Power Rangers fan, but if you are, like you said, I think that would be perfect for remarks, signatures. I mean all the different iterations of Power Rangers, you could have each one sign it.
God, that'd be crazy.
These are 1 in 50s. I forgot.
All right, so they're holding ratio at least. So the raw is going for 71 on the left, 80 on the right. So they're going for, 30% more than ratio actually. So that's nice too. All right. Knight says he's the Brown Ranger. I think Anthony would claim that he's the Brown Ranger. Moving on. All right, now these are some I think people might be familiar with. Not the one on the left, the one on the right for sure, but what's on the left?
So on the left, it's Sacred Six, #1 from 2020. This is I can't pronounce that name. How Sora Song?
Yeah, that sounds right actually. Sora Song.
And it's there's only 500 printed. But you can still get it on the retailer site for $5. So I was like, oh, that's interesting.
I'm sorry,
Who's the
what?
retailer?
Yeah. Oh shoot, where did I don't think. Uh-oh. Hang on.
Oh, great. We just told everybody you can get it on this site for $5, but we don't know what the site is.
Okay,
Sorry about that.
it's hang on. Oopsie daisy. It is Clan McDonald Comics.
Oh yeah. Clan McDonald. Yeah. I think most people know who that is. So Clan McDonald's have it for $5, really. Interesting. Sacred Six. I'm not familiar with the title, but
I thought that was just surprising. Like $5? Okay.
$5.
And on the right hand side, it's that Elektra. Elektra Black White Blood #2. But this is the Virgin variant, which I was looking for. Was the Virgin variant a ratio? I would assume it would be. This came out.
I didn't know there was a Virgin variant of that.
It came out in 2022.
Oh, I didn't know that. I've only ever seen the one that's like covered in text. That's interesting. Okay, I didn't know that.
Dang it. I should have shared with you guys sooner. I'm sorry.
No, it's all right. I mean, the one on the left's badass. Adam Hughes is hard to beat. This regular
Liger.
That's crazy.
The one on the Elektra is the store exclusive, because the one on the left for sure is the one on the right store exclusive?
I don't think the one on the right was. If anything, the one on the left I would think would be one. So Liger,
Well, yeah.
be very specific. Got the right one. The left is Marvelous too. Yeah, I don't know which one he's saying. Which one's a store exclusive?
I don't know, but he's probably trying to text. Please don't not be driving.
Yeah, find out. Sarah, while he's looking that up, what do you think?
Absolutely. I am in love with the left one. And all I can say is, y'all better save one copy for me at least. And I love Adam Hughes. I didn't know that he did negative space covers. So again, doing the research, it's like cool. I think he's done another one too, a Wonder Woman one as well. So it just goes to show you that, these artists do all sorts of stuff. So again, my bank account, I need to start doing some overtime, because every time we do a subject, I'm spending a little extra on my comic budget. But definitely, between the two, I would so go with the left. It's an amazing cover.
Oh.
Are you reading all this, Jen? Sorry, am I clicking too fast?
Yeah, Liger, how does this... Okay, well, I guess maybe... Can you just get a store exclusive by getting a cover A as a Virgin?
Sometimes, yeah. Like with Marvel, you can request to get a cover A done. You still have to buy... God, Anthony and I looked into this. You still have to buy like a crazy amount of the original cover first, and you have to do a certain amount of the second one. We've never done it before because the numbers were just so high. But there was a Jenny Frison cover that I wanted to do, and it's only on certain ones.
Isn't it 3,000 for Marvel?
Yeah, 3,000 and 1,000. So I think it was 3,000 that you had to buy, but you didn't want to buy 3,000 cover A's. There was some contingency if you do it this way.
Oh.
Anthony, if you're watching, type into the chat how that works, but there is a way to do it. I just don't remember. I don't remember the exacts. So $45 for the Elektra on the right. So the raw version of that, I wonder how much, or the Virgin exclusive of that, I wonder how much that goes for.
Wait, the Elektra one?
Mm-hmm. So the Elektra, the Virgin only has...
It is cover.
Huh?
Paul Holloway?
Yeah.
It's the non-Virgin is like cover price.
Gotcha. Okay.
But you get the barcode bottom left, and then the extra text from the black, white blood.
Adam Hughes can't do nothing wrong, right? Though he's like,
absolutely.
Sarah, these are you.
Yeah, this is JTC, John Taylor, Christopher. This is Jean Grey. This is, I believe, X-Men number 19. As I look for my notes. What I wanted to kind of like give a little backstory of JTC, because we haven't really covered him on the show. He is a freelance artist with Marvel and also Hasbro. So if you didn't discover this, he also has done the action figure comics. He does have a YouTube channel. Unfortunately, there's only 2 videos, but he kind of describes, yes, and there is a white version. There's so yes, I love all these. I need to find these. But yeah, so he has his own YouTube channel. He showed how his process was when he was doing Iron Man Civil War 2 back in 2016. He also, I was doing my research, and he did his first negative space cover back in high school. He says it's a form of therapy for him. It's helped him with a strength of, which is in his design sensibility. And they asked him in the interview, how long does it take to do one of these covers? And he said less than a week. So it's a very interesting process how he does it. Basically does the outline, kind of fills in, the color, and then starts shading in certain parts. So again, check out his YouTube channel. Again, only 2 videos, but I think the Iron Man cover that he did was, you can see his process. I think that's really cool. So
we should do a JTC episode one day.
I would love that. There's so many of his, he definitely kind of sets, I don't want to say he sets the bar, because a lot of artists do this well, but he has become known for this. It's kind of like Scotty Young's known for his style. This is JTC's signature,
What's funny is in the interview, he actually mentioned that Scotty Young had his babies covers. Yeah, and he said that, he was talking about how he doesn't want to overdo it. He doesn't want to be like every cover he does is a negative space. He's done others, but he didn't want to be like, he didn't want to wear it out. So I just thought that was cool. There was something else that I was going to mention and I totally forgot, but I was going to say, I wanted to ask you, or if you guys or anybody in the chat who knows, how many covers has JTC done? I've only counted 20 so far, but I swear there has to be more. I feel like there's more.
Wait, should we save this for when we do a JTC episode?
Sure. He did the action figures covers. That's true.
He did. Yep.
Which I'm not a huge fan of those. I like these better, but that would be cool to cover all of it when we do that. Yeah, sold. Near mint, $33 for the green, $39, so a little bit more for the red, which happens to be on an upward trend. A 9.8 for $63 on the left, and a 9.6 for $90 on the right. So the red definitely seems to be the one to be looking for. Okay, so the one on the left, this is Eric. I'll let Sarah or Jen talk about this one. This is Lucy's pick. So,
yeah, Lucy picked it. Eric Hurd, who's a friend of the show channel. This is TMNT Last Ronin Lost Years #1 from 2023.
It's so cute. It's just so cute. I love it. You can't look at that and not just be like, oh, so cute. Did he do any other ones or just the orange?
He did all 4.
He did. Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. It's really, they're adorable. They're so cute. And is it right that it's limited to 777 copies for each?
That's what it says on cover price from comicbooknews.org.
Yeah. I say that's reputable. It's so cute. And yeah, it's a good one for a remark. $48 raw, it looks like, and a 9.8 sold for 198. It's on a slight downward trend, but that just might be because nobody's selling them right now. You never know.
Turtles movie is
that was-
coming out, so I'm wondering if.
Oh, that's true too. A lot of the turtle books are going up right now because of that.
Mm-hmm.
I think all of the voice actors are going to be at Phoenix Fan Fusion. If anybody's going to Phoenix,
That's cool.
yeah. All right. So next up, I chose this one. It's the Barbarians, the Last Barbarians. I didn't realize prior to picking this, but this is sold out. So sorry. But this is done by a team, Coco Aspen and Sonia Matas. The way that they work, they kind of, you would think one of them is the inker and one of them is the colorist, but they kind of do all the stages together. So they're a genuine creative team. That one, please. Anyway, I remember when I was talking with Anne about trying to find a cover for this, we wanted somebody that could create a strong feminine representation. And so we reached out to them and asked them what they could do. And this character has like a wolf head that she wears with like little like strings hanging all down from it. And we were like, let's go negative space on it. So she shot this back to us. And Anthony, if I recall correctly, the original was a black background, right?
Yes.
And Anthony changed it to the red.
I know some stuff about some stuff.
Yeah. And at first I was like, wait, what did you do to it? And then, like he shows me, I'm like, oh God, that's really good. Because it was black, but then we changed it to the red and it just pops so much better. That came out this year. And a little side note, this series has been on like top 10 lists everywhere because the writer is also the cover artist for cover A, B. And if you guys have seen those, it's done by Brian Hamberlin. They are stunning. Beautiful, beautiful work. And the interiors of this book, beautiful. So by far, one of my favorites that I've had come out this year was The Last Barbarian. So I went ahead and chose that. Having said that, it was a pain in the ass to get these in. We had to do 4 reprints. 4. Yeah. The first shipment, they said they lost them. Where are they? So somebody out there has like 500 copies of our book, but like they're like, oh, we lost them. And then the next shipment they said was water damage. The next one came in completely destroyed. It was a mess, but we finally got some that were like decent enough to send out. So anyway, Last Barbarians, $20 raw. There's no grades yet that they can find. This just came out. Like I think we sent these out within the last couple of weeks. So we'll keep an eye on it and see what this one does. What do you guys think of it? No,
I think
no
it's
pressure.
cool.
I think it's cool. Okay.
Do you think we could ever possibly interview the artists? Oh, I did this.
Maybe.
Interview.
They're in Brazil, I think. They're somewhere because we can never get their signatures because they're somewhere far. I could ask though. I know they go to cons and they bring all these prints and you can follow either of the Instagrams. I follow both. So Coco Aspen has an Instagram and so does Sonia Matas. And they're both just fantastic, really sexy, beautiful pieces. Kind of fantasy driven too. Yeah. All the covers. Like if you go back and look, guys, if you don't believe me, look for all the covers for issue number 1. They were just stunning. Yeah, Jen, you want to go to Brazil?
You know
I don't know
Portuguese?
Portuguese. I don't.
It's like Spanish though, right? Similar? No?
Portuguese.
Spanish
I don't know.
and French, kind of like mixed in there.
I mean, I would go if you want to pay for it.
I'll go with you.
Go to Brazil.
That'd be so much fun. I'm down. We'll go get a bunch of signatures and we'll do an interview while we're there.
And get foreign comics.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh, and it's not just her headpiece, but her cape has a little bit of negative space. So does like around her neck and then around her ankle has some too. Moving on. Oh shit.
It's okay.
Before we go, we have a game, right? We have a game for the chat?
Yeah, it's for the chat and for you guys.
Okay.
Oh boy.
So there's no cool graphic. Just it's negative space or nope.
Negative space or nope. All right, so we're going to put up an image, and in the chat, you guys vote. We'll start with the image on the left, Everybody will vote, and then we'll start with and then we'll go to the image on the right. So
Yep.
is this a negative space? Yes or no? Oh, yes. The left? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
but what do you think about that title thing at the top?
Doesn't matter. That's still
Yeah?
negative space. Her hair's that's negative space.
Right. If it
But
was,
how-
if it was a virgin, it would, yeah, totally. Yeah, it's a negative space.
All right. What do you think, chat? So far we have one yes. That just seemed like an obvious for the left seems like an obvious yes. These are gonna get tougher, I think. Yes, 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 yes.
They do get tougher.
The one on the right,
No. The zippers. I don't know, like, and the hand. I don't know. It just kind of is compared to the left to the right. I think the left is more
I think
negative
I
space.
think the right's negative space. Look at her hip line. There's no line dividing her hip and the background. So yes.
So the left is Greg Smallwood, and then on the right it's Raphael Albuquerque.
Right, no, yes, yes, right, yes. Oh shit. We're starting a war.
Oh,
We need to
shoot.
put a poll in there.
I messed up. The Archie comics is Raphael Albuquerque. Archie number 15, cover B. On the right-hand side, it's Greg Smallwood. Vampironica number 5. Interesting.
The one
So-
on the right, though, if you look at her waist, there is no line. I mean, I wish you could see my cursor. Where her elbow is, there's no line there. It just completely blends with the background.
I
and with
can
her
see it
hand
now.
here.
I can see it, but I don't know.
There could be detail on the jacket. It's just not on her waistline, like her.
So this is where I was curious, right? Because when I was sending you stuff and you're like, yes, no, I was like, well, now I'm curious, like, much like that all new Wolverine, if you just need a little bit, then
I think they both are. I just think the right's more obvious, but the left is a subtle negative space. The blacks aren't different. Where? Look at her hip. Like where her hips are. There's no line that I can see.
I think it's also looking at the jacket too. Maybe that's what he's pointing out. Like the collar of the jacket is kind of more
The shine, maybe?
the shine of it. Maybe that's what.
I'm the host. I win. They're both negative space.
All right.
That's how this is gonna work. Just kidding. All right, $2 for the one on the left, which that's badass. If you guys can find that cover, that's really freaking cool for $2. That I've never seen that out in the wild. So, and it throws off the negative space, but it's still negative. Yeah. We're not looking at the blood. Look at like her waistline. That's where I'm looking. I'm looking at where her hand is and her hip. Okay. Moving on. Next up for negative or nope, we'll start with the right.
So the right is Thunderball number 22. JTC did it, and it's a 1 for 50.
Oh.
Okay, hold on. Let's look here. We're talking the one on the right. This guy's
Thunderballs. Thunderballs.
I would say no.
Yeah, I would agree.
No.
Because if this is, I'm just gonna devil's advocate, if what is lighting them is Ghost Rider's flame and they are in a dark black place, do you just need to have the black that's all around, like the from Elektra up and then up and over would be all like they're in the dark? So is being illuminated in the dark negative space?
So what I'm looking at, so if it was just the 2 or the 3 in the back with the Punisher, Ghost Rider, Red Hulk, no.
I'm with Sarah. No on that one. The one on the right, yes, because of the hair.
Yes, I agree.
Right?
Yeah.
The one on the right.
absolutely.
So the
Lauren
Red
Brooklyn,
Stone,
her hair's. Oh, go ahead.
so Red Sonja number 15, Emma Vicelli. Yeah. So So if you're illuminated in the dark and you're in the dark surrounded and then you're just being, that's not negative space?
Well, it's not really illuminating. If it showed the outlines of the people, the characters, I would say yes. But this is, you see the color of Red Hulk, you see the color of Elektra, you see.
Well said. Yes, what she said.
Yeah.
Okay.
I agree with her. But the one on the right, I don't care if it's just a little part of it. That's, or the left. The one on the left, that's still negative space. Even if it's just her hair, there's still negative. There's negative space aspect of this cover. If you were a collector and you only collected negative space, you would pick this up. Solo disagrees. He said it has to be more than hair. So, like, how much, Solo? Like, hair and foot? Hair and sword? How much? The black is a shadow but doesn't serve as negative space. I agree with that too.
Okay.
All right, so I think the overall consensus is yes to the left, no on the right.
Okay. Because there is a Spawn cover where it's just the eyes and the mouth. But that's it. But he's in the shadow. So that's a no also.
I would say so, yeah.
Okay.
For the reason Sarah said, like, you're not seeing the outline of him. Nothing's being formed from the negative space. It's just illuminating what's already there.
Okay.
Okay, next up. Guys, if you're just tuning in, we're playing Is Lord of Brooklyn Wrong? Yes or no? Kidding, Lord of Brooklyn. See, I can do it too. I can bust balls too. Solo's just making up rules and shit. Hey, I think that's what we're all doing here. There's no definite, but I would say that the Red Sonja is. Next up. All right, let's start on the left side.
Okay. So this is Witchblade 130. It's a retailer incentive by JTC. So JTC, who's known for negative space.
No, there's no point where the line blends with the outer portion.
But she is blending into the background. Like her armor is the same color as the background.
Yeah, but there's nothing being created from empty space. It all has lines connect, right? Let me look. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say.
Yeah, I saw this one, and I agree with Laura. I think this kind of teeters on it because if you look at the background, the background doesn't really envelop her. She's got the little, the pieces of yellow. I want to call it like reptilian skin. That kind of looks like.
Kind of looks like it, yeah.
Yeah, I think if it was pure white or that lacy white that matches the background, I think I would say yes. But I think with the coloring in there, I would say no.
And then the one on the right is Beautiful Canvas #1, cover B by Christian Ward.
No.
The blood on her cheek and her neck with the background. The blood on her face and like splattered on her is the same red as the background.
So and there's no line that I can see. Yes, that's a negative space. It is. Fight me, chat. That's a negative space. Even if it's just a tiny bit, that's negative space. The one on the left, no. You can see where the lines divide everything. The one on the right, what Jen just said, the blood blends directly with the background. So it's creating a shape without having the line there to create it. So yes.
I would go with Laura. I see it now. I see it now. But my thing though is I'm curious on what this looks like in real life versus
the image,
computer image wise. It does, because I'm wondering if the blood looks maybe more pinkish than red.
I've never seen
that's true. If you hold it in your hand, if there's any sort of line, but from the screen, it doesn't look like there is. It looks like that just blends with the red.
Right.
That's fair.
Chad, you're crazy. Crazy. That is negative space. Even if it's just a freckle, it counts. Right?
If it's a mole, it counts.
Yeah, it does. I mean, I've never seen anything that says in order for it to be deemed a negative space, it has to be a percentage of the cover that's negative.
Right.
I think if anything is, it qualifies.
Right.
If you're a completionist. How many more? This is fun. I like telling the chat they're wrong.
There's 2 more. There's 2 more slides, and then there's an upcoming slide, and then that'll be it.
All right, the Witchblade, guys, if you're looking for the JTC cover, that is going for about $80 or best offer, and $2 for the one on the right, the beautiful canvas. You know, Paul, and I will say that if I would have to see it in hand. From my view, it looks the same color, but if I was holding it and you could tell, then I would concede otherwise. But it looks the same to me from here. I don't know. All right, let's start on this one. Let's start on the left again. That makes it seem. Ooh, that's pretty.
So that is Michael Turner's Soulfire number 2, cover C. This is from 2004. Michael Turner.
For $3.
Right? Where is this? And we must find it.
For $3, if you find this, I'll buy it from you for 10. You'll triple your money. I will buy it from you if you own this for $3. I'll buy it right now. Is it negative space?
No.
Because this, I've seen a lot of this on covers where it kind of just blends. And
But
just
it goes
turns
up her
white.
hairline, so
No. I mean, I've seen it. I've seen it when I was searching negative space covers. This one did pop up. But this is kind of like I don't know, because I don't know.
I'm going to say yes. If you look at her hairline on the shoulder, the white blends down. I'm going to go with yes on this. It's just a different take on negative space, but it's still there in a different way. Blah. Sorry, that didn't make a lot of sense, but that's how
That's how I talk sometimes.
yeah, it's there. It's just done differently. It's not as like blatant as JTC stuff is. It's a subtle, but I would say yes. Jen?
I don't know. I'm just playing.
Jen has no opinion.
I have no opinion. But on the right-hand side, is a Canadian comic considered a foreign comic? I would say yes.
Yes.
Okay. So it's Canadian comic. It's an adult Canadian comic. Do not let your kids read Black Kiss. This is Black Kiss number 2 from 1988. The artist is Howard Chaykin.
Okay. That one I would say yes as well. I don't see any line to yeah, there's nothing dividing the garter and the skirt from the background.
Oh yeah, now I see it. It's the way you look at it. Like, you know, when you point it out, or when others have pointed things out, then you see it. Because at first I was like, well, it just is, you know, a blue and black and yellow cover. But yeah, I see where the garters are kind of connecting
Can
to
you
the
see a
skirt.
line, sort of, Sarah, on her right thigh? Can you see a line in the black, or is that just me imagining it being there?
I don't know.
Do you guys see it?
Yes, I do. Yes, you're absolutely right.
I can see it on again, I would have to hold this cover in my hands. I can kind of see it, but I can't see it on the garters. I can only see it on her hip, like on her upper thigh, or whatever you want to call that area.
I like how Little Brooklyn is like the outfit screams children's book.
This is pretty racy for a Canadian book.
Well, it's a very adult story.
I want these, man. Damn it, Jen.
$8. That's not bad.
I can't tell, Paul. Like I don't know if it's my eyes playing tricks on me, but I can see like subtle lines, but it might just be, again, my eyes playing tricks. I think the garters for sure, I don't see any lines there. But yeah, I agree. I think holding them in your hand and being able to go, okay, can I tell a difference between the background or not? That would help a lot.
Now, does the Soulfire have like a little pink across the
chest?
boobsicles, the cleavages?
Yeah, there's a little bit of pink.
See, I don't. That one I'm kind of on the fence.
But look at her right boob. There's nothing dividing her right boob from the rest of it.
Compared to I don't know. I would still pick it up because it's a gorgeous cover. So,
Oh, Liger, the Soulfire is issue 2, cover C from 2004.
Okay. Yeah, I want that. I think that's beautiful. The chat's not negative space. Yeah, we got a good chat. This is always fun. This is always a good show to kind of come and chill and hang out. All right, last one, right? Last one. We'll start with the left. Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh. Of course.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
so
that's
it's
awesome. But
Dr. Mirage, Second Lives, #1, cover A, by Jelena Kavik-Dvorkovich.
do we know what the story's about?
Dang
This is
it.
one of those books where I'm sold on the fucking cover. Like, I'm sold. I
Right?
want to read whatever this is.
You know, this is the one book that I didn't
The one that I have done. I'm sorry. My bad. No, the death-defying Dr. Mirage Second Lives. I wonder if this is something where like they've lost somebody
Hmm.
and like the spirit of them's still there. Kind of like
And this is where
I don't know.
This is a question then. So obviously it's either a spirit or someone's invincible, but they probably lost it to spirit. But like there's a lot of Invincible Woman ones where you see her phasing. Is that considered negative space? Or do you need this where it's clearly
In my opinion, as long as there is a point in the art where the color bleeds with the background and there's no defining point separating the two, that's negative space. That's how I see it. But I mean, maybe not everybody else does. And that's, that's kind of the fun of collecting. You get to make up your own mind about it. But I think if there's no defining line separating the two planes, then yes, that's negative. The one on the right,
you have to look really hard at like where her glove is, because it's as if it's spiraling around, but there's not like
is
a
that?
line.
What is this book on the right? Who is this?
So this is X-Men Black, Emma Frost, from 2018. This is Jetpack Comics, Adam Hughes version. There's a version, this, and then there's one that's not a version that has the X-Men Black, Emma Frost on it. But clearly the version is...
All right, I got to bust the chat's balls here a little bit because they're all saying no on the right. But take a look at her panty line on her right hip.
And her
it
glove
blends directly with the swirl behind her. You just have to like...
Yeah, if you look at her, also her glove, there's not a line that goes down her glove. It's the circling of it.
And her legs too, her boots. And she's wearing her mink stole, isn't she?
Well, I
I can't tell.
Because look at the way her hair is laying. There's a lump of white behind her. I would say yes to both. Fight me, chat.
We're so loving today. No, but look at the panty line for sure blends with the background. The boots I can't tell because it's covered by the stats.
Swirl. Yeah.
I
think if you look at her glove that's up, you can't see a straight line down. So that's where I was curious, like what constitutes negative space?
I think this does have negative space on it. I'm going to go with yes. I'm with you, Sarah.
Fight.
If you look very, very subtly, it is there. It's just not as obvious as the one on the right is like, oh yeah, it's obvious.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she's okay. Hang on. Someone mentioned the flowers. So the flowers for sure isn't, because there's clearly a line that goes through the flowers, right? Like she's on the flowers. You can see that. We're talking about the space above her, like next to her bicep, and then up within her arm.
Well, even her right elbow or her left elbow. Sorry, her left elbow. Yeah. I don't see anything defining her left elbow.
Right. I agree.
Yeah, there's nothing there. It's completely blended with the back.
So that's considered negative space?
Yes.
Okay. That's
using negative space because there's no defining line that's separating her from the background.
I agree. Like,
really? Okay, Chad, defend your point.
Right.
You don't think... How is the right not? We'll start there. Solo.
Come on. I mean, you have the glove. You have the gloves, you have the legs, you have the panties, you have her bodice is kind of mixed in. You have her first stole.
The background isn't white. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is.
What do you mean the background isn't white? Are you seeing two different colors? Okay.
Is
I'm
this
going to
your...
say yes.
Yes. This is the chat's eye test. If you don't agree, you should go
Our
get
eye
your
test.
right?
Slash, if you guys see these in the wild, please inspect. You don't have to buy them,
Come here real
but
quick.
inspect them, because that's where we see these digital images and we're like,
Hey, Bird City. Is the one on the left negative space?
Yes.
Is the one on the right?
Yes.
Boom! Why?
There it is.
I say it like he's like an all.
Because the colors, there's no defining line between the white when it goes to the background on the one on the right.
Till death do us part. You beautiful, wonderful man. Yes. See, Chad's
Am I
giving
right or
me
wrong?
shit. Chad said it's two different colors. The background is off-white.
No, it's not.
Chad messaged me.
we know Chad for the record, guys. He's a friend. That's not us threatening a viewer. Message me, Chad.
Message me, Chad. Get in. No, Chad and I are cool.
Him and Chad are cool.
Okay.
They're good. Anyways.
that was fun.
Yeah. And Adam
That was
Hughes.
fun. If you look from a... You guys are crazy. I think it's just because the farther you go back, the more prevalent the lines of the spirals around her
No.
are, and that makes you think that it's a color. But if the closer you get, the more you're like, okay, it's the same color.
The
I'm going to message
flowers-
Adam Hughes.
The flowers, like, I'll give you, it's a different shade of white. It's like more beige. But if you
Yeah, the
guys
flowers
see,
are.
the circle,
Yeah.
the lines are beige, but the background is white.
Yeah, Solo and Chad, just look, and Larry, look at her right panty line. Is there any line dividing that with the background?
You know what? I could probably do.
I'll wait.
I can probably do this. Turn my brightness all the way up.
Her panty line is part of the swirl in the background. It's
Yeah. It connects.
Boom.
Close up panty line.
Thank you.
And then so
Jen.
there's that one, and then we're talking about. Wait,
Want me to put you on the
Wait.
big screen?
no, don't do that. I don't like that.
Yeah, in her elbow. Her left elbow and her right panty line. Yep. It's okay, Chad. I'll take a handwritten apology. Dear Laura, sorry that I argued with you.
And I think you're right, Sarah. Her what do you call it? Her white. What do you?
Her
Shaw?
stole. Her first
Soul, that's
stole.
what it's called.
Yeah, it's all. I mean, because like, why is there like lumpy white behind her? How many times have we said that tonight?
Someone get that audio. We need to just
Look at her
get it.
panties, Chad. Closely. I mean, I don't think it's a different shade, but again, maybe all of on my monitor, it looks the same, but some monitors do vary. If anybody, for the love of God, owns this book, please tag us and then we'll settle this for good.
Do you want to know the premise of the death-defying Dr. Mirage?
Yes.
Okay, so are we ready? Death was just the beginning. Dr. Mirage talks to the dead, but the only spirit Shan Fong can't find is that of her late husband, Hyun. Instead, America's favorite semi-retired paranormal investigator is haunted and raw, using her gift to solve homicides and bring peace to the recently bereaved. But when a big-time occultist with a classified military past hires her for a special job, Shan discovers a lead that might close the greatest mystery she ever tackled: how to get Hyun back. Now, Dr. Mirage must enter the undiscovered country and cross all the realms of the underworld if she has any hope of rescuing the man that she loves or forever lost beyond the earthly plane.
Sold. I think it
And
sounds
this
great.
is a Eisner Award-nominated writer, Jen Van Meter. She did Hopeless, Savages, Captain Marvel, and acclaimed artist Robert La De Torre. He did Daredevil and Age of Apocalypse.
Pause real quick. James, do you have this Adam Hughes? that we're debating about? If you do,
Yes.
because I was just going to put one final nail in the coffin. Her arm that's up like this blends in with her, what do you call it, Sarah?
First stole.
Yeah, that. It blends together. Another. So it's the panty line, right elbow, left arm, negative space.
Boom.
So James, if you have the book, is the background a different color than her panty and her
Her arm.
arm?
Be
Or
truthful.
the glove. The glove.
If it's an easy thing, don't go digging through long boxes to try to solve this right now. We'll figure it out later. All right, that was fun. That was enjoyable. So what do we have coming up?
So, out currently is the Avengers #1, the John Carter negative space. It's still going for round cover. It wasn't erased or anything like that. Upcoming, thank you, Gary Nesser, the Comic Perspective. He pointed me in the direction of Tales of the Titans #1, cover D. It's one for $25. It comes out. FOC for this is $6.25, and it'll be in store $7.18. So it's a ratio by Javier Rodriguez, Starfire. It's pretty cool. And then JTC has 3 more upcoming ones, but there's no images right now. It's Moon Knight #25 in July, Blade #1, also July, and then August, an ASM 31. So,
all right, so there you go. We gave you guys a heads up before everybody else. Boom.
I like that Starfire.
I like that
That's
too.
interesting take. Yeah.
I can't wait
Yeah,
to see his rendition of Blade.
Okay.
I'm reading Comic Forge.
Yeah, they're like, there's brown lines. I get that there's brown lines, but the background's white, so it's brown lines. Anyway, we could be here all night. I agree with Larry. It's goldish circles on the white.
Right.
Oh man. Okay. Next birthday, Laura recreates the Frost cover. Ah, yeah, that could be fun, and I'll prove it to you guys. Make it all make sense. People are gonna make me start drinking. That's what we're here for. Yeah, the Vision cover. That was the one you were talking about. It's a good one for cover. Can't go wrong there. And I have seen the Mandalorians.
Yes.
The ones that I remember, he sold out like immediately, right? The ones that he did when the first show came out, they were gone within a second. And everybody started like sending him hate mail on Instagram.
And I believe the one that They Call Me Bruce mentioned, I think it's only available on his site. I know some of the exclusives that he does, that's only place that you can get it. Yep, for 48 hours. Yeah.
Well, good luck, you guys. Good luck with that.
Right.
All right. If you have not been with us before and this is your first exposure, well, welcome in. There's about 55 of you here. We have shows all week. Monday, we have Cover Lovers at 9:30 or 30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. They go over a lot of like really cool cover art and exclusives that have been coming out that week. So it's always really relative information. Tuesday's Comic Book Women, because it's all females. Female podcasts or show, whatever. Share it out to your sisters, your wives, your girlfriends. We want more females to be in this community. And honestly, it'll make your life easier too. If you get your girlfriend or your wife or your whatever involved in this, then all of a sudden you spending $50 on an exclusive doesn't sound crazy anymore. It's like, yeah, do it. Wednesday is the Mondo Mail Call. Thursday is Long Story Short. We got Nearing Nirvana on Friday. This Friday, I believe we are going to be covering obscure ash cans if you guys are collectors of those. And Comic News. That's a fun show. It's very chill. Saturday is our morning toy box. So no love for Campbell's Rogue negative space cover. Not this week.
No,
But maybe
again, there's 50 plus negative space. I think we covered 20, 15. You think more? We covered a lot tonight. So part 2 is for sure going to be a thing we do.
I want your guys' reactions real quick. Read this.
What?
What the hell?
All right. I mean,
Chad, come on now.
I mean, I've been into comics since I was a kid, like before I could read. So does that mean I'm a guy?
Yeah, we're all guys. This is the guy club now. Hey. Fucking
So-
Chad, man. Yeah,
Right?
now Chad's officially wrong on the negative space thing. Officially.
Absolutely.
All right.
Ooh.
I am supposed to do Mondo Mail Call officially, right?
You what?
We're all doing Mondo Mail Call at one point, right?
I think so.
did it.
Yeah, that's the plan for all the.
I know you did it. I watched
that.
that one. Have you done it?
I'm going to. It's just a time thing, and ugh. But I will. I promise. Until next time, make sure you guys check out Cover Price. They are one of our sponsors. And Bird City Comics, we just dropped our second Battle Chasers, number 10. This one's done by Ariel Diaz, and we were the first store to snag up the Red Monica homage done by the OG Joe Mad. We got it. Ariel Diaz, in my opinion, did him proud. If you haven't already, please sub the text line. That goes on sale on Friday, and we do expect that to do really well. So make sure you're on the site. Be ready. Like, get logged in so that you have a better chance of snagging those up if you are a Battle Chasers fan. And that's it for us for tonight. We will be back on Friday. So you guys have a great night, and thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you guys later.